Okay guys, so welcome back to this Unity tutorial series on how to put lives up on the screen. In this session, I'm going to show you how to have like 3 little life icons and to take one away when the lives go down on the players. So I'm still working with the same scripts as before, the damage script and the health script. And this was the health script that I set up when we were just using numbers. Now we're going to modify this slightly. I'm just going to hash this out over here. And I'm going to hash that out over here. I'll keep them in here so you can see them, but they're not going to be read by the script anymore because those 2 lines means that it doesn't read anything. So there are several different ways to do what we're going to do next, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a public game object, capital G, capital O, and I'm going to call it lives. Now if I click save and go back into Unity, you'll see that instead of this little text box down here, I've got one that says game object. Now at the moment I've only got 1 and I want 3. So if I go back into Unity and put these 2 little brackets here, 2 little square brackets, and resave it, it will create what's called an array. So with an array, I can create as many things as I need. If I click plus, plus, and plus, I've got 3 different spaces here. I could also do it by typing the number 3 in that box there. 3 different spaces that are going to hold my lives. So that takes care of the coding bit to create the life system. Now I need to create some lives up on the screen. So I'm just going to switch to game mode here when I do this so I can see what's on the heads up display. At the moment I've got this live text here. I'm going to leave that there for now. I'm going to go back to my lives canvas. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go down to UI and I'm going to create an image. And when I do, it's just going to be a blank square like that, and I can drag anything I want into it. Now I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use these little diamonds here. These are the red gems. So where the image says image here, I'm going to drag that red into the source image, the sprite renderer, and now it looks like that. And again, as I did with the text, I can position that on the screen by dragging it. I'm going to go -300 to put it there. And I can position it down where I need to, like that, and I can also type. And for the purposes of what we're doing here today, I'm going to type because I want all of them to line up in the end. Now I've got an image. I'm going to call it life1, and I'm going to duplicate it twice. Now what I've got is I've got 3 images on top of one another, so I am going to need to pull them out and space them out. So let's make that one -240, and then to keep them all at the same distance, I'll make that one -180. So there are my 3 lives on the screen. Now I've got my 3 lives, 1, 2, 3. I can go back to my character array over here and I can find these game objects. Now this one is going to go in element 0. This one is going to go in element 1. And this one is going to go in element 2. It doesn't really matter what numbers you've given them here or what numbers they've got down here, as long as you know which one is in each box. So this one is a 0, it's got nothing next to it. This one's got 1 in the brackets, this one's got 2 in the brackets. I can tell what they are. Those 3 lives, if I push play, will now stay up on the screen at the start of the game. There I am, playing my game, and there are my lives on the bottom of the screen. Now this next bit is going to show you how to take those lives off if certain conditions are reached. So the easiest way to do that is by using game object set active. If you click on it in the scripting API over here, you'll see, if you find this bit here, it's got the variable that I want to set active, in this case it's cubes, and which number it is, we'll come back to this second, dot set active false or true. If it's true, it's on the screen. If it's false, it's off the screen. So what I'm going to want to make sure is that every time I start my game, including if I restart my game, these lives are on the screen. So what I'm going to want to do is say lives and then open brackets 0. Remember, because it's element 0 down here that is the first life. Lives open bracket 0 dot set active open brackets true, and save that. And then if I copy that and I paste it underneath and I paste it underneath, I'm just going to change the numbers to 1 and to 2. So all 3 of my lives are set active at the start of the game. Now I'm going to go into void update and I'm going to write a little if clause. And the if clause is as follows. If health, which is my variable that's counting how much health I've got, if health is exactly equal to 2, the last life copy paste, is switched off, false. And I'm going to copy all that so I don't have to type it again. And I'm simply going to say, if health is ever equal to 1, now I'm going to need these little curly brackets because I'm asking it to remember 2 things. Here I'm just asking it to remember 1 thing, but if I wanted to remember 2 things, I need to put them in these curly brackets. So what I'm going to say here is, if health is exactly equal to 1, then yes, the second life needs to be taken off, but also this life needs to be taken off as well. That also needs to change to false. Save the game. If I now go back and test this, what I do there, I make 1 contact and 1 of my lives is gone. I'm going to make another contact, jump up there, and my next life is gone. And then obviously I don't need a system for my 3rd life to go, because as soon as my 3rd life goes, it's going to restart the game. So that's a different way that you can set lives up on the screen. Obviously I don't have a 3rd system here for if the health equals 0, because as soon as the health equals 0, we're going to restart the game. And I'm going to show you very quickly how to do that. So we're going to need to add something else to the Unity section up here. We're going to need to copy using Unity Engine, and we're going to need to add .scene management. And then what we're going to say down here is that if health is ever exactly equal to 0, scene manager, dot load scene. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a variable called this scene. At the moment it doesn't know what that is, but I'm going to tell it in a minute. Comma load scene mode dot single. This thing here, it has no idea what that is, so I'm just going to copy that up here. I'm going to do up here is I'm just going to add a public string, and I'm going to call it this scene. If I save that, what it should allow me to do is to go into Unity, and where I've got the health script here, I've now also got a little box that says this scene, and I can just type in the name of this scene, whatever it's saved at. I haven't actually saved this, so that's very bad from me. I'm just going to call this practice, and you'll see practice up here. This is the one you're looking for. This is the scene. This is the project, practice. If I now type practice in here, and I push play, when I lose all my lives, it should restart this scene. There's 1 life lost, there's a 2nd life lost, there's a 3rd life lost, and it's restarted my scene. If it doesn't restart your scene, just quickly go to the build settings up here and just make sure that you've added the current scene, practice. You don't need to build, you can just click X. Thank you very much for watching this very short series of tutorials. I hope they prove helpful in adding life systems to your game.